country filled with social, political, and economic problems. A country where discrimination and injustice against the poor is rampant. A country where living conditions for many is unfit for humans. A country large and beautiful, rich in resources, yet many live below the poverty line. A country where the poor has no say, until now, where their plight has been made public through their voices. A voice so powerful, the voice of the people.
Channel 12, pay the call. Justice, justice, justice for all. On TV Channel 12, pay the call. A program for everyone, big or small. Program that is very hard to fall. Directed by Mr. C.N. Sharma, a man of honesty, courage, and stamina. Directed by Mr. C.N. Sharma, a man of honesty, courage, and stamina. Justice, justice for all. On TV Channel 12, they call. Yeah, justice, justice, justice for all. On TV Channel 12, hear the call. A program for everyone, big or small. A program that is very hard to fall. Directed by Mr. C.N. Sharma, a man of honesty, courage, and stamina. Yeah! TV station on duty day and night. The station that is everybody's delight. The TV station on duty day and night. The station that is everybody's delight. The first to screen films regularly, backed by Mr. Sharma's vision and generosity. Justice for all. On TV Channel 12, hear the call. Yeah, justice, justice, justice for all. On TV Channel 12, hear the call. Justice, justice for all. On TV Channel 12, hear the call. For everyone, big or small, a program that is very hard to fall. Directed by Mr. C.N. Sharma, a man of honesty, courage, and stamina. Yeah! TV station with great admiration by people of all races and organizations. The TV station with great admiration by people of all races and organizations. The station that transmits things cultural, whether Hindu, Muslim, Christian, or musical. Justice, justice, justice for all. On TV Channel 12, hear the call. A program for everyone, big or small. A program that is very hard to fall. Directed Mr. C.N. Sharma, a man of honesty, courage, and stamina. Directed by Mr. C.N. Sharma, a man of honesty. Justice, justice, justice for all. On TV Channel 12, hear the call. Yeah, justice, justice, justice justice for all. TV Channel 12, here they call. A program for everyone, big or small. A program that is very hard to fall. Directed by Mr. C.N. Sharma. A man of honesty, courage, and stamina. Yeah! Justice, justice, justice for all. On TV Channel 12, here they call. Justice, justice, justice for all. On TV Channel 12, they call. Justice, justice, justice on TV Channel 12, here they call.
Well, this song is not only dedicated to C and Sharma, but it's dedicated to all Guyanese throughout the length and breadth of Guyana. Watch this. All who here to seek justice, pull up on hand. All of the Guyanese them. All who here to seek justice, pull up on hand. Let me tell you, man. Sharma give the poor people food. He's the kind of man, yes, he don't speak rude. He is here to help people of all races. So join and let's support him. Sharma, we need someone like you who can make all our dreams come true. Innocent people being beaten up by the police. So tell me, where is justice? Sharma, people from Lilendal and Lusignan can't get no water at all. Them said it's 30 years the pipeline run and still no water a come. So all who here to seek justice, pull up on hand. All of the Guyanese them. All who here to seek justice, pull up on hand. Yes, me tell you, C.N. Sharma is the justice man. He tried to seek justice for a little young man who lost 4 of his fingers, half of his hand. Now they want to jail Sharma, and that is wrong. Sharma, tell them you not take no jail. Even if them jail you, you're going to get bail. All them big boys them having in parliament don't care about the poor who live in a tent. So all who here to seek justice, pull up on a hand. All of the Guyanese them. All who here to seek justice, pull up on a hand. If I tell if you vote for. So, justice for all party. Vote for justice and you will be free. Me tell the man them. Justice for all party. Vote for justice and you will be free. Sharma, we need someone like you who could make all our dreams come true. Innocent people being beaten up by the police. So, tell me, where is justice? Sharma, show them the bogle. Show them you're cool, show them you're simple. This is not about race, it is about truth. A tree can't grow without a root. So, all who here to see...
Get the volume. Good. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Program the voice of the people. There's an agenda for today. Your agenda for today.
Okay.
Agenda for today.
Today's agenda
Yeah.
will be the budget, noise, nuisance, rum shop licenses,
Yeah.
right, the rice industry, the sugar industry, crime on the increase, no, destitute, people on the streets, bank interest rate on loans,
Yeah.
cost of living.
Yes.
Now, CN,
You read the back. You read the back. You read the back. You read the back. I want to
Okay.
people must understand.
Greetings.
Yeah.
Today is Saturday, 8th day of December, and the issues that we'll be looking at today are the budget, noise nuisance, rum shop spread, rice, sugar industry, crime, destitute, bank interest rate on loans, and the cost of living.
That's right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks very much, Rahama. Thank you very much. Right. Good. We begin going there for right now. I call them for no unknown call. Behind here, right? Unknown call.
no on call or private call.
Private call. Not private. Unknown call. No unknown call.
Unknown calls will not be
Okay.
allowed.
Okay.
Or no crank
Okay.
calls.
Let me start with him. Michael first.
Ras-
Leon. Let me start with you. Rian, what do you think some the problem facing Guyana?
The problem facing Guyana right
Yeah,
now is
yeah,
that we need a new political construct.
Yes.
We need a new political form of relationship meaning that this adversarial form of politics got to be over if we want to progress, meaning that divide and rule got to go, meaning that opposition over there, proposition over there can't work. We got to blend.
Why you say you can't work? Why you say
Because
that?
we've got to take the best from that side, the best from that side, the best from that side, and
Yeah.
put it all together.
Yeah,
We need a
yeah.
constituent
Yeah,
assembly
yeah,
right now.
yeah.
The Westminster type of assembly can't work anymore. It's been set up for divide and rule, for them to control us. Now, even the outgoing ambassador of America,
Yeah.
Perry Holloway, good man. He did a lot in 3 years, but it's very questionable to what extent he has undermined the underground economy, because he has got a lot of successes in the drug
Yeah,
enforcement
yeah.
area.
Yeah.
But Perry Holloway said that we could have got a better oil deal from Exxon, even though the one we got is good enough.
Okay.
But he said we could have got a better oil deal.
Yeah.
And we got to take note of that.
Okay.
But generally, I'll say too that the banking sector is in trouble, and in trouble because certain people who used to facilitate certain actions are now running because there's a new anti-money laundering law,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. And I think it's not easy for them to
But no,
laundry money anymore.
Nova Scotia Bank.
Scotiabank.
Yeah.
Scotiabank probably has been subject to a lot of questionable dealings.
What question? What question?
Well, a
Point
lot of
one.
money was running in this part of the world several years ago, and I'm sure they washed a lot of that money.
Yeah.
And they don't want to wash anymore.
Okay.
They want to close down the laundry,
Okay.
them and Baroda.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a new laundry in town, it's called the Chinese laundry.
Yes, yes.
You know? So, generally, though, constitutional reform.
What do you think about the business society?
The who?
Business society.
The business society?
Business society.
The buildings.
Building society.
Building
New
society.
building society.
Building society.
New NBS.
Yeah.
NBS went through a tough time when their credibility was questioned, and I think they've got to do a lot of work to bring the credibility back in
Yeah.
place. And they've still got to pay off
Yeah.
the man them who they owe. For
They still owe
wrongful-
them?
Yeah, they still owe them. They pay off all that money yet, the judgment.
Okay.
You know, things are under the radar, but they have not paid out all the monies as yet.
Okay.
Generally, though, the economy, the budget debates are just over, and it was very, very interesting and very amusing.
Okay.
Next week, we're going to the consideration of the estimates, budget estimates.
Yes.
It's another week to go.
Yes.
Generally, I think the budget is going to pass. Next year, what we got to do, we got to hold that budget to the fire and test it, meaning that all them goodies in the budget, we got to go for them. My people, there are a lot of goodies in the budget, but they got to know where to go and where to look, especially young people. There's lots of money for young people. At least $1 billion, 5 million US available. Go get it. Go
Okay.
get the money. Meaning that
Okay.
money ain't going to come to you like that. You got to go for it. The money's in the budget. Go for it, my people.
Mr. Hammer, what is your view?
Mr. Sharma.
Well, I want you to read the manifesto.
I wanted.
Give me the whole manifesto. I want you to read the whole manifesto.
The time is
But the
come.
beginning, see, you got
I will.
Manifesto.
I will.
When you
Let's
read
start
the
with
whole
manifesto.
manifesto, I want to read the whole manifesto. Let the people answer what the manifesto
This
see.
is the manifesto of the people.
Yeah, yeah. What year was that?
This manifesto was written 15 years ago.
Yes.
15
Yeah,
years
go ahead, go
15
ahead.
years
Prophetic.
ago.
Yeah.
And when you read each of these items,
Yeah.
I read the introduction.
That was my manifesto.
The manifesto of the Justice for
Yeah.
All,
Party.
and for the thousands and hundreds of thousands of people outside there
Yeah.
who cannot disagree with this.
That's right.
Because what it is saying is that poor and working class.
So
Poor
the-
and working
No,
class.
hold on. You can query that.
It
Hold on.
says that the emphasis must be placed on the following costs of living. Public servants cannot continue to earn the ridiculously low wages. 15 years ago this was said.
Yeah.
The PPP didn't correct this,
No.
and it continues. Ridiculously low wages that are now in force. Transportation, high cost of building materials for homeowners. See, this man had vision.
Yes.
15 years ago, he said these things. We are still plagued with these same problems.
All the time, all the time, all
We're
the time.
still
we do.
plagued. We had 23 years of PPP,
Yeah.
12 waves of Jagdeo,
Yeah.
and he didn't do anything to change the
Yeah.
situation. Then it talks about the business sector. It said the efforts must be made to eradicate the high duties paid by businessmen from different government agencies. The whole thing is still in a mess.
Still in,
You know, yesterday we went to register a newspaper,
Yes.
and we now have to go to a lawyer.
Yes.
I asked myself the question, what is Mr. Basil Williams doing since he
Yeah.
became... Basil Williams is the
Attorney
highest,
General.
he is the highest paid government official.
That's right, yes.
Earning more than $2 million.
$2
a month.
million?
Yes, more than that.
Is that
He
tax-free
earns-
or he pays tax
He
on it?
earns more than the president of this country.
Is that
And
tax-free?
the question
Is
is,
it tax-free?
I don't know.
Okay.
With all the
But you,
perks,
you know, you don't know.
I don't
Good,
know.
yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
It should be. It should be. It should be.
Okay,
It should be
okay.
taxed.
Yeah.
But the point is that you cannot run business in this country when you have that type
Yeah.
of red tape. You can go up to the website right now on any country in the world, developed country, and you can register a company and you pay through your credit card.
Let me give the manifest. So far, we going
Yes,
to
sir,
add up
I am-
anything.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir, but it's the
Yeah.
business I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Okay.
You are saying here
Yeah.
that you have to eradicate the high duties paid by businessmen and in the different agencies
Yeah.
True,
that
true,
does
true.
not function. And the question is why these agencies don't function? Because you have a new government, but you still have
Yeah.
people who are
Yeah.
there who are sabotaging
Okay.
this government.
Fifth
And-
columnist.
Yes, fifth columnist. The third one is free trade. It is important for Guyana and the rest of the world to trade freely and
I do
exchange
hold the people listening.
production
Listen that.
technology.
Yeah, yes.
Production technology.
Yes.
15 years ago, this was written,
That's
and
right.
it talks about the exchange of production technology. The PVP attempted to give us free high-speed internet.
Yes.
We lost $1 billion Guyana dollars
How we last?
because
By who? By who?
the president,
By who?
the former president,
Yeah. By who?
Mr. Donald Ramatar's son,
Yeah.
who
Alexei.
had no experience.
Yes.
Total incompetence. And they had to scrap the thing. So the
Okay.
Guyanese public, when you're talking about you don't have money for the
Yeah.
destitute,
Yeah.
that is where the money was wasted.
Okay.
So that project was scrapped. We are now implementing a brand new project, which we'll talk about later on.
Okay.
But it would be a good project because if it does go into operation. Tourism.
Tourism.
The tourism sector,
Make notes, right?
the
Good.
tourism
Yeah.
sector must be given
Yeah.
a boost.
Yes.
This could become a major source of income and should therefore be explored by the government and people of this country.
Okay.
That is still not being done.
That not to be done. Not done.
That is still
Not
not
be
being
done,
done, even though the president appointed a man who is supposed to be, he set up a business ministry,
Yes.
minister of business. But this minister of business is a busy man, very busy,
Can be seen.
can't be seen.
Okay.
Okay. Then you have foreign investors.
Yes.
There should be clear guidelines and tax holidays for foreign and local investors.
Yeah.
They're giving it to foreign investors,
Yeah.
but not to the local investors. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Foreign investors remain disappointed with Guyana's investment climate. I don't think so, because they're getting more concession the local ones are not getting. Agriculture, very important. More importance has to be given to this sector. Guyana needs a vibrant agriculture industry which caters not only for local market, but also the export market.
Yeah.
Low interest loans
Yeah.
must be for farmers, both traditional and non-traditional crops.
Okay.
We don't have an agricultural bank. It's in the manifesto.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying here, that you can only get low interest loans for farmers if you set up a special bank to do so. These commercial banks that we have, they're closing down one by one.
Exploiting us.
They are exploiting the
ordinary people. That's right.
They have $300 billion together
Yeah.
among themselves, and they're holding the country by the...
Ransom.
But
Right.
I wanted to use that word, but I won't use it. They're holding them. They're
By the
holding the
testicular
government by the
fortitude.
testicular fortitude.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you use that term.
Okay.
I don't want to use the other word.
Okay, no, okay. Sorry about that.
Right. Okay. But then we still have an incompetent Minister of Agriculture.
But I want to ask a question quickly
Yes,
here.
yes.
The gay bank you keep talking about, can the government buy over Baroda and turn it into the gay bank, Guy
They don't
Bank?
need to do that.
What do they need to do?
You see those same people who were sacked by Jack Deo,
Yeah.
who are leading that new building
Being
society?
society, yes.
Those are the people who could do that. I talked to them already.
Yes.
I talked to them. We have capable people in this country.
I did the interview with them. I did the interview with them.
Exactly.
Couple of years ago.
Exactly.
I did the interview with them.
So they jailed
yeah.
them, destroyed those people. The man got sick. The man lost his son.
Yeah, that's true. That is
Right?
true. Yeah.
Yes? Just like what they did to you. They
Good to me,
harass
yeah.
you.
Yes.
Right? They harass you to the point of you getting ill.
Get it. That's that. He can't let me get
Yes,
sick.
closed down the station
Yeah.
3 times
3 times.
without absolutely no reason.
No reason. No
And
reason
they-
at all.
and
No
they
reason.
have no shame
No shame.
to come to this station to get free, to talk free.
Yeah.
They to sure come, make it a duty to come sit
Okay.
here. They have absolutely no shame. Good.
Go ahead. Next.
The
Next.
education department,
Yes.
education.
That's very
To
important.
guarantee every Guyanese free education from nursery to university.
That's right.
This is part of the Constitution, and the Constitution says that. So every single Guyanese should make that demand constitutionally.
The thing is, Bornum didn't have the kind of money to work with then, but Bornum instituted free education from nursery to university.
Because Burnham had a comprehensive policy. He had a comprehensive. The only thing you can say about Burnham, he used to regulate.
Go ahead. Go to the next.
But,
next.
but the point is,
Read what
he
you got.
had good policies that were in keeping
Yeah,
with what we are reading here.
Now you got your comment, but you read what it say. Then you find your
Yes,
comment. Your
yes,
comment.
yes. So free education.
Yeah. Yes.
Definitely a must.
Yeah.
Again.
But we have made a lot of, this government has made a lot of improvement in
Okay.
your education system.
Okay.
Because this 5B thing, which they gave transportation, they gave boats, they gave books, and these type of things, buses and so on, so that children in the riverine areas who couldn't get to school are now going to school. Children.
Rama, please, you man, if you read the manifesto.
Yes, well,
then you answer question. Then you can answer the question. You got deal with you long time.
Health.
Health, yes.
To
good.
provide adequate
Yeah,
health care
yeah.
for each and every Guyanese. Example, the stigma and discrimination against HIV positive must be put to an end.
Yeah.
The health system is in a crisis. You know.
Yeah, it's very
You-
serious.
you know that. To end all ethnic problems
That's right.
in the
Nice.
society,
Very, very important.
which is what the president called social cohesion. But
We don't have a race issue, we have a class issue in Guyana, really and
I
truly.
agree with that. Justice for All party believes in the harmony of all races
Yeah.
and will work towards eliminating all forms of racism at every level
Yes.
in society.
I
That's
think
right.
Justice for Our Party has the best chance of any political
That's-
party
has
to,
the
to,
best
to do
chance.
that, to achieve
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
At the next election,
Mm-hmm.
next chance. The trouble is that the government has it in the manifesto,
Yeah.
but they're not they don't know how to implement it. That's the problem. Because you have the wrong people. If you
Right.
call Mr. Sharma and say, look, let me work together to bring about this racial harmony.
I did that.
No,
I
no,
did.
no,
I
they
did.
call
I
you-
did that.
they
I did
call
that.
you
I
now.
did that.
They
Yeah.
don't seek his
Now.
advice.
Yeah, that's in my
They're
head.
not
don't seek his
involved.
advice.
Yeah.
It is not a
They don't seek the advice of the government people
partnership is not
and the other
working.
parties, it's all the small
partnership
parties.
is not working because this manifesto
A good manifesto,
it's a good
actually.
manifesto. It's part of the partnership. but
It's
not
basic
functioning.
and it's to the point.
To the point, yes. Then you have, it's a bit faded here, and you gotta give me a bit of time. Culture,
Culture.
Yes,
A
culture.
neglected area.
yes. We need to preserve all our indigenous culture, all to create a more harmonious society. Amerindians. Particular focus must be placed on the Amerindian community, which for too long has been exploited and in some areas neglected. That's very true.
Culture is the best vehicle for social cohesion, you know.
Yes. Amerindians must also be given permanent titles to the land.
Land.
That is happening now.
But we must be careful here. The Amerindians, the indigenous population community, already own, not lease, own 13% of Guyana down towards the bottom end. This was done because of Stephen Campbell, a wise and astute Amerindian.
Don't debate. Let
All right,
it's
carry on.
something we can read.
Pensioners.
Pensioners, yes.
A neglected lot.
The
Don't debate. Debate later on.
Unfair
Yeah.
treatment of pensioners must be addressed.
Yes.
They need to have basic living wage, free medical attention from at the age of 60.
Nice, I like that. I don't
At the age of
qualify then.
60.
Yes. yes.
You don't qualify.
I qualify for that, yeah.
13. The issuing of firearms is a very controversial one. Firearms should be issued to farmers and important businessmen in our community, villages, with over 1,000 persons to have
Shotgun, yes.
and villagers who are recommended to be provided with the same to protect the village
Yeah.
against criminal elements.
Next,
Street children,
yeah,
we still have them.
yeah.
Vagrants, street children, urchins.
yes.
We still have
Urchins.
them. These children have definitely been neglected and are in dire need of attention.
Definitely.
Women will continue to be given the importance that for too long has been denied them. They will play an important role in the Justice for All Party.
The women.
The women,
So you need to start dealing with some gender
Hold on,
balance.
hold on, wait, road.
gender balance,
Gender balance.
Yeah,
right to food, all basic food items to be duty free.
yeah.
To be what?
Duty free
Duty free, yeah, food item,
food items.
yeah,
All
duty
food.
free.
But imported food too.
Imported to, yeah.
Duty
Not
free.
some of the, some, only some.
Essential.
Yeah,
Essential.
some of
ones,
them.
yeah.
You have a lot of rubbish thing coming in here as food, you know, plastic and all.
Then we're going to give it later on.
Okay, good.
Can't give it all one time. Go ahead.
Tax.
Yeah.
Tax.
Intends to restructure the tax system and issue the revenue for greater development of the communities.
Yeah.
Did you know that 75,000 big businessmen never paid a penny of tax?
Yeah, that's true.
During
They're
the-
paying now, though.
During the Jagdeo time.
Oh.
Now they're paying, and we have collected $10 billion.
Godfrey Stage is a bad man.
Good. Housing.
Yes.
A weak area.
Low-cost housing to be provided to meet the demands of the Guyanese society. Land at a reasonable cost will be made available.
Yeah.
Housing
So you're
again.
saying land to the tiller still?
Still the Atlantic tiller.
To institute new laws and recommend, where necessary, legislation to ensure the rights of all Guyanese are protected. Housing again. Persons born in Guyana and in
That's right.
possession of Guyanese
Yeah.
birth certificate are entitled to
Free
a
land.
house lot.
House
Here's
lot.
the copper game it down. I like the song of that. Let me hear that. Does in your manifesto?
My
Read it again,
manifesto.
let me hear that.
Persons born in Guyana
Mm-hmm.
and in possession of a Guyanese birth certificate
Birth certificate.
are entitled to a house lot.
House lot.
Free of cost?
Free of
Free of
cost.
cost.
Free of cost.
We have enough land.
I said 10, 15 years ago.
We
That's a
have-
revolutionary
50
thought.
years ago, I said that.
We have
50
enough.
years.
We have enough land for that. You know?
Yes,
We
yeah.
have
Next.
enough land. It's finished.
Finally good.
Yeah, good.
Uh,
Overall,
Rasta,
overall.
I want the text manifesto. I just talk about every program you have. Every Tuesday, I said it, must put this in, you must put it in the program. Must start out with this, right?
Yeah.
This manifesto.
This
This
is
how
our
you
mantra.
put the manifesto.
This is the Bible of the
The
Justice
Bible,
for
yeah, this is the
All
Bible,
Party.
Bible of Justice.
But it's more than just
Yeah,
one.
yes.
Every working person
Yeah.
in this country
Yeah,
needs, their needs are satisfied within all these things.
Yes.
Housing, health,
yeah.
transportation, crime, you know, salaries for civil servants.
Yeah.
The police are highly underpaid. And if we want policemen to stop taking money on the road, we have to pay them better.
Accept.
We have to pay them because these are human beings who have children just like all of us. And they need to have a reasonable salary.
Okay.
So they don't have to beg you when you stop you on the
Yeah.
road, give me a little piece or give me a
Left or right?
No,
Yeah.
we must not. Our policemen must be dignified
Okay.
people and we need to give them proper
Okay.
protection.
Let me talk about foreign relative. What do you think about Trump impeachment? He impeach.
Depends-
Impeach.
Impeachment
Impeachment. Yeah, impeachment.
is in the
Trump.
Yes, he's in the process of.
Yeah, what do you think about it?
I will tell you. I sat up last night.
Yeah, but what you
Listen to
heard?
it.
Tell me what you heard.
He's committed a lot of infractions. I will call it. I wouldn't say further than that.
Okay.
Lots of infractions,
Okay.
meaning.
And
he
the
has
governor
broken-
the party
he has
infraction.
broken
What do you
a lot
mean
of
impeachment?
laws. He has tax evasion.
Yeah.
Like many of our politicians
Okay.
here, tax evasion, they don't pay their taxes. A lot of businessmen, 75% of them, never paid any tax.
Yes.
As a result, this government has made them compulsory for them to
Okay.
pay. So we collected $10 billion,
Yes.
thanks to the government.
Okay.
So that the ordinary people know
Yeah.
that money should
Yeah.
really go for the destitute.
Yes.
That money should go for the destitute.
Yes.
So in the budget, Mr. Sharma, we need to call on the government to actually set aside a couple $1 billion
Yeah.
for lots of people,
Yeah.
children on the street,
To establish
children selling.
a
Yeah.
welfare process.
You
a
know,
welfare
you know,
process.
the opposition has the audacity to
Yeah.
talk about children selling water on the streets.
And they created
Mr.
that
Sharma.
situation.
Yes.
That situation was going on under the eyes of the PPP.
Yeah.
They created that
It
condition.
did not. Yes, they created the economic crisis where ordinary people and children who are supposed to be in school are selling water on the street.
And dog food.
Yes. I agree that that has to stop. And dog food. Yeah, they talk about dog food. But dog food, people are selling dog foods 5-6 years ago. It was a new invention
Yeah.
because they didn't have the, rather than go and steal.
No puppy chow being imported.
That's what you're, Jaipal will be in the program, junior finance minister, be in the program today.
Well, he's on fire, Jaipal.
Yes,
Here's my worry.
Because they say,
yes. What is he?
they say that he's one of the guys who will vote for the no confidence thing. I wrote an article this morning defending him.
Okay.
But when he was making his speech, he said, I will never vote for the opposition against this government.
Okay.
So he cleared
Jaipal is loyal to the
But
poor.
Jaipal made a very important intervention.
Which is?
And he created a new phrase called sweet lie.
Sweet
You
lie.
ever heard of that?
Sweet lie.
Sweet lie. You didn't
I
hear
don't
that?
sweet like.
Sweet lie.
Yeah, but he said that.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
sweet wine.
No, he said
lie.
he called
yeah.
Irfan Ali's lies
Sweet lie.
Okay.
That's good. That's good intervention.
But here it is. We got a 10th oil discovery, and the people end jollifying and say, yeah, what's wrong? That you got 10 discovery of oil, and yes, the people ain't happy about that.
ExxonMobil is robbing us.
Yeah?
Yes. And they're denying us. They're doing what is called neo-colonialism. What the colonialism, robbing of our own resources. Why are they preventing us from setting up our oil refinery, Mr. Sham?
Yeah.
That's a question every single Guyanese must answer.
Yeah.
Why ExxonMobil and this government is allowing ExxonMobil to tell us what we must do
Let me
with
get
our oil?
find a call on here. Hello? 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 Okay.
Private calls?
Private cars?
No
but-
private
okay,
calls.
Okay, okay.
Unknown calls.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah.
let me come back to this question. Look, I understand that the REO from
Yes.
Region 3
Let me just take someone call.
is being transferred.
Caller, hello?
Did you hear that?
Good afternoon, Mr. Sharma.
Yes? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Farai. Good
Yeah.
afternoon to the big man. I forget his name.
Yes.
Let me be quick with y'all.
Yes.
All the minister for the government in parliament talking about good life, good life.
Yes.
What good life them people is talking about? Who live in this good life in this country?
Yes.
You go out right on the road, street that your station there. You go to your camera, you take and ask people that walk in the road.
Yes.
Which good life then get? The only good life we got in this country, the people that live in this good life, is the minister and the minister friends them.
Okay.
That's the ordinary people in this country.
Okay.
These people need to stop talking about good life.
Yeah.
People are even stealing Christmas right now.
Okay.
And Mr. Sharma,
Yes.
you is the bright man in this family.
Yeah.
And you need to tell Jaipal, he got a future, he's a young man.
Yes.
He got a future. I believe he should take country and vote for the no confidence motion.
Why you say that?
Listen to Mr. Sharma, if he vote, when them lose in 2020, they won't put him back as minister. His career will be done. So if he's a smart, young politician in this country, vote for the no confidence and ask Jack Leo to be the finance minister for the next government. Thank you very much.
Okay. Good. Thanks very much.
No, there's another option available.
yes, yes.
The third option, meaning the boycotters, the 60%ers.
Let me get member public.
No, yeah,
view.
call.
Public, let me give
Of course, of
mem.
course.
Yeah, they review people.
Of course, of course.
Yeah. Let me talk cost of living. Cost of living going up high.
The cost of living is going up high,
Yeah.
Mr. Sharma,
Yeah.
because, look, we're talking here basically about food, yeah?
Yeah, food.
When you go to the market
Yes.
and you have to buy tomatoes at $400 per pound, who can afford that?
Are they being grown in Guyana?
Yes, $400 a pound
No, to season.
for tomatoes. Listen, you don't have out of seasons or rain. If we had a good agricultural policy,
Okay.
that would not have happened because what we will do, we'll have shade houses. So we'll have round the clock.
Okay.
You will have tomatoes.
Let me take a next call on here.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Question.
Yes.
I don't understand understand that
No, you got to speak a lot. I can't hear you what you're saying.
I understand that there are
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
young girls
yeah.
between
What do
14
you-
and 16 that
yeah,
commit suicide
yeah,
in
yes,
this area
yes.
because they were infected by
What?
some disease by past government people that used to know they were
Yes, yes.
Is that true?
I don't know. I don't know the facts. I don't know the facts.
What she said?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know the facts on that. Hello? Hello? Yeah. Hello?
Good day, Mr. Sharma.
Good day.
If the minister do the no confidence motion, it's like he's telling you.
Why? I don't understand what you're saying. Please, I don't understand what you're saying.
She said if he supports the no confidence,
Okay.
he'll be selling you out.
Because you're part of the, because you're part of the coalition.
Okay.
It's not about being, it's
Yeah,
not about
yeah.
entertaining a no confidence motion right now. It's got to be brought up, but we can't entertain
I'll
it.
bring a chair
What we got to be
for Mr.
focusing
Green.
No,
on,
the chair over there.
Yeah. Bring a chair.
The chair.
what we got to be
Yeah,
focusing
come.
on.
Bring him a chair. Bring him
Yeah,
a
yeah,
chair.
he's right here. Come
Bring
on,
him a
brother.
chair. Bring him a chair.
No,
What
what the previous caller said.
Yeah.
You remember, Mr. Sharma, the previous caller.
Oh, Mr. Green, yes.
The previous caller
Yeah,
said
yeah,
that
yes.
that
Okay.
Minister
okay.
Sharma
Yes, yes, yes.
should support the no
Yes,
confidence
okay.
vote
We have
because
two boats to make a walk already.
in 2020,
Yes, yes.
if they may not want
Yes, yes. Yeah, but,
to
well, whatever.
re-elect him.
You all right? Good. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
What the gentleman who called
Yes,
earlier
yes.
was saying that Mr. Sharma, Jaipal Sharma, should support the no confidence vote because if this government goes to the poll in 2020 and they win the election, they would not put him back as minister.
Okay.
So I think he's wrong in saying that because Jaipal Sharma has been a very consistent minister and people will vote for him whether he's with the coalition or not. Even if he stands independent,
Okay.
he will get a seat in parliament.
Okay.
He don't necessarily have to be the minister, but he will have a voice in the House of Parliament, which will allow him to exercise the right to speak on behalf of people.
Call your name. Hello? 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 Hello, call your name. Hello?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Mr. Green.
Yes.
He was welcome today.
Yes.
I think it is disgraceful what happened when the opposition leader was speaking that the government walked out, and similarly when the Prime Minister was speaking.
Yeah.
Now, I think that these are the representatives
Yeah.
of the people.
Yes.
Now, if they're going to walk out,
Yes,
well, then we should
yes.
put them paid. They're being highly paid to represent the people. Now, you understand that the opposition leader had flaws. He made
Yeah,
mistakes,
yes,
whatever.
yes.
If a man like Mr. Mandela, branded a terrorist in the 1970s, could have changed to be one of the transformative leaders in the world.
Yeah.
Similarly, Jardio's ideas should not be blocked or not listened to. It's at the end of the day, the government has to implement the ideas, their ideas or whatever, but it should be collective. We should move away from this one part.
Yeah.
This is what we got to move away from. Now, if you look at what the government was saying in their budget and what the opposition was saying, it's
Yeah.
like two poles, one gone north pole, one gone south pole.
Okay.
Now, for the betterment of Guyana, why is it that they can't have consensus? Why they
Okay.
can't come together and form something?
Yeah.
Where you need to reduce, you reduce,
Yeah,
and where
yeah,
you need
yeah.
to increase, you increase.
Yeah.
You applaud where progress has been made, you give Jackie jacket, and then where the government is falling down, you highlight it and you improve it, because at the
Okay,
end of the day, it's for
okay.
the betterment of the people.
Yes.
That's who putting you down there.
Okay.
So I can't understand why is it that nobody is condemning them for these walkouts.
Okay.
So, Mr. Green,
Sir,
how are you, sir?
I'm all right. Thank you.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you trying more in your old age. I will say old age because you're almost 3 times my age. So try your best to bridge the gap in the political divide of Guyana. And that could be a great heritage for you. Because in the bottom house discussions all over the country, they say Mr. Green rape and he kill and all kind of thing with no evidence. So please, sir, for your old age, why not try to bridge the divide between all of these political parties and let's have consensus in the country.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Caller, hello? Hello, caller, hello? Hello? Yes? Hello?
I can just respond to the
Hello?
last call.
Hello? Hello?
Somebody there?
So, good afternoon, Chairman.
Good afternoon.
If the government needs to step down and bring back justice inside,
Why? Why? Tell me why. Can't answer the call. Hello? Hello?
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I would like to comment on I just completed
Yeah.
local government election.
Yes.
Where GCOM took almost 14 days to deliver the result of this election. Now, if we are into a general election in 2020,
Yeah.
and it's going to be the same pattern
Okay.
of bringing out results,
Yes.
I think we're in for a serious problem in our country. This is unacceptable. We cannot wait 2 weeks for election results.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. What do you think about the sugar workers get money? How much percentage they get?
But they got the what is it called,
What?
the pay, because they've lost their jobs. So,
Yeah.
so by right, they're
How much is supposed to be paid?
Well, I don't know the details of it, to be honest.
Okay.
But they didn't,
Okay.
they didn't rebel against it.
Okay.
What their arguments were, they're not getting it in
Okay.
time.
Mr. Green, what do you like to say?
I'd like to respond to the caller who called earlier.
Okay.
I have privately taken initiative to ensure that there is some consensus and that there's good governance. We've got to move from the position where people oppose for the sake of opposing.
Yes.
And when we got our independence after a struggle, the concept was on both sides of one nation, one people with one destiny.
Yes.
You still have some people on both sides
Yes.
who I think are willing to find a
Yeah.
modus vivendi
Yeah.
so that the country benefits and we move forward.
Yes.
The caller asked me to use my influence. I have been doing so.
Okay.
And when Joey Jagan was here the last time, he will tell you that
Okay.
when both Dr. Jagan was
Yes.
alive and Forbes Burnham,
Yeah.
we had a small group
Yes.
and that we met
Yeah.
and we had reached a point
Yes.
where both of those great leaders were prepared to find some way of working together.
Yes.
Burnham died and others didn't seem to relish
Yes.
the idea. But I have not given up.
Yeah.
I still feel that this country
Yeah.
needs people of integrity and that we need to have good governance.
Oh. Okay. I want to ask that concern. I want to ask the question, why Enrico has anchored the program? He alone. Are the Mr. Government only Enrico has anchored it? People asking this question. Why it was some of you?
What's the question?
Anchor the program on the news are the only on your news. Like Minister of the Government and he alone anchored the program.
Who is that?
Enrico.
Enrico works.
Well, on the contrary,
Why don't give them an opportunity?
on
Only Enrico know the whole story.
as I understand it, NCN is open to both sides.
But no, they're not give both
And-
sides. They never give both sides.
Well, I have not been following the news myself.
Okay.
But if that is so, something needs to be addressed. I spoke.
Like other parties too, a chance, opportunity.
I sent a letter to the Prime Minister
Yes,
telling him that I feel that the government is weak in the
Yeah.
area of PR
yes,
and that they need to develop a system where there's a ready,
yeah,
robust response to
Yeah.
3 hours. If you look at the media,
yeah,
both the electronic
yeah.
and the newspapers,
Print media.
the print media, you
Yeah,
find that
yeah.
the opposition has, I believe, more time than the other opposition had when the PP was in office.
Okay,
So I.
okay,
May I comment
Yes.
also?
Yes.
While the PPP was in office, they did a very smart thing.
yes.
They gave themselves a radio station,
That's right.
Freedom Radio, that has national reach.
Rich, that's
And I
right.
tune into it sometimes, 91.1, and it's very effective.
Yeah.
They're using it smartly.
Yeah.
The government is depending on NCN, which is kind of partial. They're depending on Chronicle, and they're depending on DPI, Director of Public Information. It's not enough.
Okay,
They don't have good spin doctors. The best spin doctors are on the road right now. People like me even, you know. The point is, they're not utilizing the resources that they have available to do the work that's necessary to make them look good, because they are doing good things, but they don't have the messengers to get the message properly to the people. So it comes down now to also something that, coming down to Brother Green, Brother Hammy, a Truth and Reconciliation Commission is still needed in Guyana.
Okay.
Even though Brother Hammy is spearheading the moral and spiritual revival,
Yeah.
we still need to have a Truth and Reconciliation Commission
Okay.
to deal with all the things that went down,
Okay.
to have something called closure. For example, to get to the bottom of the claim about the 400 men killed during the PPP regime. You understand? There's still a lot of hurt. There's still a lot of closure that's got to happen in this society,
Yeah.
and that before we can have something called shared governance, inclusive governance, or a situation of a national front government, we still got to find out who did what, why you did it, and say sorry, please.
Sorry?
Sorry, at least sorry. If you got or some monetary compensation would be good too.
Okay.
But
That's
at
how
least
they did it
sorry.
in South Africa.
Yeah.
I agree, my brother, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I hope that both sides will consider the feasibility and the usefulness of such a commission so that we relieve ourselves of this propaganda, this repeating inaccuracies. I've heard some things said that are absurd. But if you have a truth commission, we'll get to the bottom of it. People will be able to get on with their lives. And as he said, says, you know, those who committed acts
Okay.
against the people will be able to.
Rahman, what the current said, some call me and said, when he Enrico is anchored the pro all the time, he alone, administration, you the pro over there. Then he put the other and here. Why he need we sell? Why can't get minutes by itself?
This is what
Separately.
I agree with the two brothers, what they were saying. We need to create an atmosphere
Yeah.
where
Why can't get I'm dingering?
We cut
Why can't get Rasta? Why can't get you? Why can't get me?
we cut away
Yeah.
this bias and the partisan
Yeah.
outlook.
Yes.
And if I were to say this, the old politicians still carry on with the past,
Okay.
when they should be looking into the future.
Okay.
Why do you think, Mr. Sharma, have you ever studied it? I asked yourself the question. You've been in this business for more than 20 years. Why is it?
20 years, 30 years.
No, in this particular business.
Okay.
In this particular business.
Yes.
And in the media, I mean.
Yeah.
Why is it? And you did a poll on yourself.
Yes. I did it. I did
You
it.
did a poll on yourself.
I did for sure. I was the most popular man in the whole country.
But you paid the guy to do that.
Who paid it? No. No,
Yeah.
I didn't know
You
that.
sure? You didn't pay him to
I
give
didn't pay
give you
him.
the
No, I
result.
didn't
I
pay
can
him.
give you similar results, you know.
Yeah.
In my how I can.
No, your result now.
I did a straw poll, and let me
Straw
tell-
poll or
yeah,
straw?
well, let me tell you what it revealed.
Yeah.
That 60% of the voting population of
Yes.
this country
Yes.
didn't go to vote.
Yeah.
What I call the stay away party.
Yeah.
I'm part of that party, even though I went to vote.
Now, Bishan did the poll.
I am-
Bishan did the poll.
Yeah, he did the poll, I know.
Yeah, yes.
I know the story.
Yes.
I don't want to embarrass you here
Okay, okay,
on
okay.
television, but I know that story.
The people did the poll.
I'm
Not
opposed-
PP did the poll.
PPP did the
Ah,
poll.
PP did the poll.
And they proved that you are the most
They are
popular.
most popular man in the whole country.
But that wasn't reflected in the polls, so when you
No,
actually
that,
vote.
yeah, they had the right from the poll. Yes, you reflect in the poll.
No, but you didn't get a seat.
I don't know got a seat.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
that's
right. You
right.
didn't reflect in the
Then the cheat, how do you get a seat?
But coming back to the issue. You see, I agree with the two brothers that we need to have harmony in this country.
Yes.
And I agree that we should have those type of procedure, those type of mechanism to try
Yeah.
to bring about unity
Yeah.
and harmony in the country.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. Yeah.
and therefore, what I am
Yeah.
saying is that the radio station,
Yes.
the state radio station, the state
Yeah.
television,
Yeah.
the state newspaper
Yeah.
must all
Yeah.
be able to bring
Yeah.
about these changes
Yeah.
that we are talking
Go
about.
there.
You want me to come here?
Yeah, go there. Go.
Okay.
Wait a
I'm
minute,
making,
sir.
I'm making space for the honorable
Sorry about that.
minister
Yes.
who did a good job in the
Yes,
parliament.
yes.
I wrote an article this morning
Yes.
about the minister.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you saw it.
Yeah.
Anyway, to
Yeah.
continue what I was saying, Mr. Shaw,
Yeah.
we have the government. I think the president had made the statement before he became president, what the two brothers were saying, that we need this Truth and Reconciliation
Yeah.
Commission, which was done in South Africa quite successfully. And we need it here. We need to hear urgently, more than ever before. because we cannot continue a divided nation knowing fully well that we are going to inherit and become one of the richest countries in the Caribbean,
Okay.
if not in South Africa. So we need to call on that,
Okay.
on the government from this podium.
Okay.
And I hope the minister can address some
Okay.
of this, what we just talked
Okay,
about.
Minister, what do you want the budget? Tell me about budget.
Well, see,
How many days you want for the budget?
You know, I just arrived, and so
Yes.
we have one more week.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that
yeah.
week going to be used
Yeah.
to question the estimates,
Yeah.
to interrogate the figures.
Yes.
And so next week,
How you gonna do that?
you're going to see the members of the opposition asking questions on various ministry by ministry, region by region, line item by line item, asking the various ministers to answer as to why they put that much amount of money in the in the budget for a particular line item, or why they put that amount less. But most likely they're going to question the largeness of the budget. So they're going to ask questions. So that is what's going to happen next week.
Okay. Mr. Green, what do you about the budget? Let me pause on the budget a little bit.
It's a good budget.
Okay.
And I hope that people like Jai Paul will ensure that it's translated into action to benefit the majority of people. Very often you have budgets which, when implemented, fall short of its target, its intention, its philosophy. The problem I believe we have in Guyana with budgets, you still have in the system some of the old people who are not committed to making a reality of the new program by this government. In the United States, up until the Second World War, they had what is called the spoils system, so that when one government lost or a new government came into office, all of the top administrators offered their resignation.
Okay.
This didn't happen.
Yeah.
As I said in the last week, you have people as drivers, as key posts.
Okay.
You had a man who was at the office of the president who was stealing millions.
Yes.
That is because the government attempted to be ultra-democratic, some of us
Okay.
feel too democratic,
Yes.
and did not clean the origin stables
Okay.
that they found. And that's a major problem
Okay.
we have.
Okay.
If you look at the budget and the
Yes.
inadequacies, a
Yes.
lot of the transgressions
Yeah.
were committed by people from the previous administration.
Okay.
And there's a problem. Before Jai Paul came in, somebody talked about elections. It is my personal view that we are not in the mood, the country, for individuals anymore. The last foray we had was in 1957, when you had a PPP Bonamite and a PPP Jaggerite contesting the elections.
Okay.
There were 14 seats, and only 2 went to individuals who were very popular. That was W.R. Kendall in New Amsterdam and Stephen Campbell in the Northwest. Since then, party politics have consumed the country, and that is why it was the wisdom of those who understood politics to have the coalition which we now have.
Okay.
A combination of several parties, not individuals, who are committed to specific programs and to deal with the country. And as you heard President Granger say some time ago, that the coalition concept is here to stay.
Okay. Chairman, what do you about the coalition?
Well, the coalition is strong, but what you're seeing is that the PAPC, under the leadership of Jagdeo, is trying to cause confusion and mischief. And
In what way?
Recently,
In what way?
Recently,
What way?
apparently, the PAP told at very high level in the APNU,
Okay.
AFC, that somehow I will defect. And, you know, the APNU confronted me and asked if I would defect and vote for Jagdeo. And I said to them, no. However, I can't say it for the APNU if they will believe me. And so there's a possibility I could be removed if they don't believe me. So, but this is the kind of politics that Jagdeo is playing. So, for an element of distraction, he just threw me into the equation, and he's also endangering my life, because I don't know if anybody out there will believe I will vote for Jagdeo, no confidence in the APNUST government. That was become to me, to attack me. So, as I told the chief whip of the PPC this, and they didn't pay any attention to me. I said, "This is dangerous what you're doing," saying that I'm going to defect and support the PAPC. That is the reason when I gave my presentation, I stood up and I ended off with, "I will not support the PAPC, no confidence in this government. I will never support it." And so I don't know who may be the defector, but this is the kind of politics, it's dangerous politics that they're playing. So I will never support it. For one example, I was the only minister was given the opportunity to investigate matters of the previous administration. I didn't investigate ministers, former ministers of the government. I investigated agencies of the former government. And in investigating those agencies, you saw ministers were implicated, former ministers of the government were implicated. So who know better than the corruption that took place under the PAPC than me? No other minister of this government. And I'm the one that is, championing this cause of corruption-free government. So I'm always there fighting against corruption because I know what it could do to a society.
Okay.
So this is the propaganda. We have to be careful.
There's a propaganda, Aaron, please.
The propaganda. But our budget
It's an
is
old trick.
300 billion, 719 million and $11,000. It's the largest budget ever. And it's there not for us, the government, it's for you, the people. And what I said during my speech, and I call Irfan Ali, I nickname him Sweet Lie Irfan Ali, because I didn't coin the phrase. Irfan is the one who coined the phrase. He was his first speaker, and he started out his budget presentation by saying this government is like the famous Beres Hammond song, Sweet Lies. And so he started out saying all of these things in the budget is to fool the people. So I used back his phrase on him. So as I discredit every one of his arguments, and even had to teach him something about economics, because this is the thing. It's either the PAPC members of parliament, majority of whom serve as government ministers, either they're illiterate or they willfully know that this government is doing its best it can and produce the best budget, but are using their wisdom in the wrong way to tell sweet lies to the people.
Okay.
So no other than the Minister of Finance, and each and every single minister and member of parliament that spoke rebutted the PPPC at every single one of the accusations.
Okay.
So I could say with confidence that the APNU AFC won this debate.
Okay.
And the Minister of Finance in his closing rebuttals to the majority of those that spoke on the opposition, in particular the former president and leader of the opposition, Dr. Barjaglio, shamed him. And what I'm going to ask our APNU AFC government to do is to have discussions at the level of committee and with the Speaker of the House, so they could bring the leader of the opposition and all those members of parliament from the opposition that spoke sweet lies in the debate, bring them to the Committee of Privileges. And I would ask that it should be publicized, because it's like a court where you have to stand in defense and defend what you said. And so I would like, it's not publicized, but I would like this one to be publicized. And so the public will see that they will have to admit to the lies that were spoken. It's not Minister Jordan or myself or the other members of the APU AFC saying that they lie. We will present the record and the proof, and they will have to present their records and their proof that whatever they're saying.
Okay.
There are two things I'd like to say about that. One, I speak as the oldest living member of the People's National Congress. And as far as I know, we have implicit faith in the integrity, usefulness of Jaipal Sharma. Secondly, what you hear around is an old Stalinist tactic.
That's right.
It's an old
did that to me already.
It's an old Stalinist tactic, and we must not be surprised nor dismayed. We just have to be myopic, keep on course, and as Jaipal said, do what we have to do.
Rahman, your view.
I wanted to ask the minister, during the process of this estimates and questioning and answers, would any of these things that were put out in the budget, would you be able to regurgitate some of those things? Because there are serious issues that one needs to take into consideration. The destitute on the streets, we talked about that earlier, children, you know, leaving their school and going to sell water on the streets and so on. Would we be able to address some of those issues?
That is exactly the purpose for the question answer in relation to scrutinizing the estimate, because here the opposition will try to again embarrass the government and say why you put money here, why you didn't put money there, and they will come to questions like yours. Where is the money for the children and the destitute and so? And so the minister will have to point and say this is the money. And there is where the opposition will be further embarrassed. When you actually identify the sums of money and the purposes that it was intended for.
Oh.
In the debates, you're not allowed, you're given 35 minutes as a minister and 15 minutes as a backbencher, MP. So you can't really defend it.
Okay.
But you have this opportunity, it's additional time to answer the questions of the members of the opposition. And here the people of the country will understand how they're benefiting for the budget. So let us open the line to the member of the public so they could interrogate me, they could question me.
Call you there, hello?
Good afternoon, Mr. Sharma,
Good
to you and your panel, to everybody. Mr. Jaipal, yeah, the thing when I was speaking about my hand, I get shot in it, I hear you say that I could go somewhere, but I'd like to get a meeting with you so you could give me advice where I could go and get this thing looked at, because the Director of Public Prosecution is not doing anything for me. And I'd like to have some justice on my hands, because it's 1 year, 3 months now, Mr. Jaipal. And if you could tell me if I could reach you after I come off the phone, because I have my TV.
I think it's a matter for a matter for the police.
Thank you very much.
It's a matter for the police.
Okay. Well,
call you, hello? Yeah, go ahead.
You could meet me, but not today. I suppose you could meet me in the office where we could discuss it one-on-one. Let me understand exactly what happened. So, the parliament started at 10. So when you arrive at the office at 8, there's not much you could do because you're signing up documents, trying to clear your desk. So after the budget, we could meet. All right, that's next. They're gonna be next week, Monday. We could meet me.
Call your name. Hello.
Mr. Sean,
Good afternoon.
this is regard to Mr. Sean.
Yeah.
Green.
Yes.
I want to make a simple suggestion.
Yes. Speak up a little more loud. I can't hear you.
Yeah, the cost of local government.
Yeah.
I think it's about 1.8 billion.
Yes.
Mr. Sean can throw some light on it. And what I was looking about, if you go into the various communities, you see there's need for lots of developmental program or progress, or the lack of it anyhow. What I'm suggesting, why the government don't postpone maybe the next local government election and spend the monies in the various communities. They need things like street lights, road, garbage collection, etc. I think it makes sense. Bearing in mind the previous government having local government, I think, for how much years? Or 16,
20 years.
So what would it take the government to just postpone it for 1 year?
Okay.
The money, develop the communities, put the street lights, look after the roads and what's not.
Okay.
Where the people benefit. The people don't benefit from local government election, especially this one. People have more interest in it.
Okay.
Because there was nothing at stake.
Okay.
Let me answer the caller.
Yeah.
Caller, you asking us to do something that the PVP did. The PVP never held a local government election after 1994.
That's right.
Okay? So, what you think they did with the money not holding elections?
Exactly.
They was put it in the community. Did it help the community? What you saw, you see, you have to break it down. They didn't have to spend the money for local government. They was doing exactly what you were thinking. Don't spend the money. The people don't want democracy. The people don't want leadership. Let us control the people. And they used the local government money for those years that we had no democracy at the level of local government to pump it in the communities. But did it help? If it had helped, we didn't have to produce a 300.7 billion budget. We didn't have to. So yes, elections are expensive, and no exception to local government, which would have cost probably in excess of $2 billion Ghanaian dollars. This election, 2020 election, will cost in excess of 3 to 4 billion Ghanaian dollars. Just in this budget alone. Just in this budget alone, to run the Guyana Elections Commission office, and for them to go into the house registration, there's an excess of $5 billion that's put into GCOM. You understand what I'm saying? Good. So why you don't say then, let us don't have general and regional elections, and let us put that $5 to $6 billion towards the poor people. Would that make sense? You think Jagdeo going to support that one? Because he want to get into office as he planned.
Exactly.
Right? But why we don't use that argument you put forward for local government elections and see why we have general and regional election in the first place for? Why we don't have one government throughout and save the money? You know, we can't operate like that.
Colleague, and you
Good
heard
afternoon, everybody.
Yeah, good afternoon.
The minister, a question.
Yeah.
Why didn't I reduce the VAT? Thank you.
The VAT was reduced from 16 to 14%. Okay? This budget, Jagdeo couldn't say anything about this budget. He said a lot, but he couldn't say anything. You know why? This budget is the only budget probably in the history didn't have anything that increased tax. What you would have saw in the estimate is an increase in the collection of tax, but not increase in any percentage of the tax. There's no fees that was increased. There was no tax that was increased. We did exactly the opposite. We reduce rates. We reduce the percentage on tax, like cooperation tax. We reduce that to 25%. Right? So we reduce things. So that is what we did. Even in 2018, which we still in, guess what? Apparently no minister, including Minister of Finance, never spoke about it. We probably spoke about it, but we never say that we was given back to the people before the 2019 budget. And you want to know how? Good. Even it skipped Jagdeo, Dr. Jagdeo. It skipped the Minister of Finance himself. But I will tell you, when we give the increase in salary for 2018 to the teachers, which will be paid this month, and when we give the increases in salary to public servants, which will be given this month, guess what? It wouldn't attract any income tax. We waive that tax, the income tax from it. So your back pay would not be taxed. Now guess what? You know how much GRA is given up by not collecting tax in the back pay? They're giving up in excess of 790 million Guyana dollars. That is $790 million that you have in your pocket. If it was under the PPC government, which was giving you 5%, and plus tax in it, you wouldn't get that. We are giving you. So even before you've seen the effects of 2019 budget, 2018 is still given to the ordinary people of this country. Matter of fact, every single body. Because your back pay for the 2018 will not be taxed.
See, and I want you to allow me.
Yes.
There's a much deeper underlying philosophy about this caller who talked about scrapping.
Yeah.
I agree with Jai Paul's response. But apart from the fact that the PP dismissed this, the cardinal aspect of a democratic society in the 21st century is to allow the people at the lower level an opportunity to do things. What you see happen today, they have been dispossessed for 20 odd years by the PPP. They've lost that verve, they've lost that leadership. We've got to build it back instead of take it away. We're moving from the old days of the old village fathers, where people respected the village fathers, respected the teachers and the policemen.
The elders.
The 20 odd years of corruption, the PP destroyed all of that. And you can't replace it by one or two local government elections. And therefore, it's an oversimplistic proposal to use that money for development. As Jai Paul said, he's quite right. And the other thing that people need to recognize is that in a democracy, that's the price you pay.
Okay.
You can have a dictatorship, you don't have elections, You can call Village Anna Regina or Rose Hall, say, look, this is what we want done. And you want a situation where the essence of movement begins with the people. And what I think is missing in local government elections, and we all have to work on that over the next 2 years, is to get our young people more involved in getting things done within their communities. I think a start has been made.
Okay.
But you can't give up on LGE as you propose.
Your comment.
Well, I totally agree. First of all, I want to say, Jai Paul, we got your back. Nobody can touch you on the road because the people in the ghetto love you. They love you like cook food. Because, yeah, they say he's the only one who breaks down the issues in a layman's manner they can understand.
And can talk about it.
That's the first thing. You're solid as a rock out on the road. Secondly, we reach a stage now where the transformation has begun. Hugh Branson Ryan's Pandit Hugh Branson Ryan's succession to the mayoral office is an indication of that, but there have been other indications along the way. Meaning that we as the older folks have got to focus on grooming and bringing in the next generation into play right now. It's a matter of passing the baton, passing the torch, establishing our legacy. And the legacy we've got to do is to pass the torch and groom the next generation, the next set of leaders. And I feel confident of the fact that if we give our young people the chance to run things, they will run it well. With our supervision, of course. We can't leave them alone. Okay. You know, we got to be there, encouraging them and supporting them. But it's time, because 2020 is hindsight vision, and we don't want to say if we only know. We know, and we know that we got to pass the torch and pass the baton. So let's identify our young people and bring them into the fore.
I agree. And in fact, we need to encourage a lot of those who left the country. I was speaking.
Yeah.
I was speaking with Dr. Mark Devenish this morning. He's in London. One of our energetic, interested young people. And of course, he sent a letter about 2 matters which I didn't see published. I don't know why. But you need to bring back young people like that who've got experience, who've got enthusiasm, and are willing to work to get this country moving. So I agree with my brother here. We need to encourage the young and ensure that the old remains in place so they can share their experiences. Not an experience, no substitute for experience. The world has shown that.
Courtney, hello.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr.
Good afternoon. Yes.
Yes, I'd like to say, right, I know Mr. Jagdeo might be known as the champion of the earth, but what I know you is the champion of the sugar workers. And through you, your son, I think we really should do something for sugar workers because
I did that already.
Good life for all, but it cannot be good life for all if you're excluding sugar workers. Sugar workers is living on a 2014 rate and earning coming in 2019 without a single penny of increase, no APR, no bonus for so many years.
Who caused that? You tell me who caused that?
That we're looking after that we're looking after the constitution and the government should fix this because right now there is a small amount of sugar workers. So to give them something is not a big deal.
But then give them one sugar worker someone.
But sugar workers being neglected.
No, that ain't
you don't want
no, well, look. These are some of the, the things that the PUPC administration will spread. So I just give you an example where we give back money, even in 2018. We spoke about the Mayor and City Council. And look, the year didn't start as yet, financial year 2019. We have to find $100 million to help bail out the City Council. $100 million, right? So understand that. Gaisuku is a company. It's a business. And just like we had in relation to a private company closing down their business because they said they don't think they could be successful in business and they pay off the staff, Gaisuku made that decision to downsize and right size. And so we have to allow the company to operate and to be viable and to turn a profit. However, government, with its consideration, being a government company, will step in to do what it can. We increased the minimum wage when we came in from 39,400 to, as it is presently, and what it will be come 2019 is 64,200. The largest increase in the history of, since independence of this country, the largest increase in salary. Now what we give to the ordinary and poor people, we increase the threshold to $65,000. After giving the public servant a 7% increase, which add on a $4,200 to the salary, we also ensure it is not taxed. Okay, you understand that? Good. Now, the only way we could bail out Gaisuku again, on which we don't really want to, is to go and tax those public servants. Go and tax that same $4,200 you're giving them. You know, so as a company, they have to be viable, and under the right management and leadership, it will be viable. So that 11,000 persons that working in Gaisuku, once they reach the target, Gaisuku shall make that decision, not the government.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, Cardinal, hello?
Yeah, I'm in here.
Yeah.
You are investigating Mauritius. I am kind of worried about the issue of Exxon Mobil in Guyana. I've learned that they are drilling offshore of Guyana to many blocks, but according to studies experience, oil do not stay one place. It runs in vain. And I want to know what would be the disaster or the consequence for Guyanese after these isles are finished drilling. I really want to know. I am truly worried because of the trail that was left behind.
Okay.
From Exxon drilling in other countries.
Okay. Mr. Hamad, your view?
I did wanted to say something about
what do you want to say?
The local government election,
yes.
because I have a pamphlet here, facts
what you
about
have?
local
Tell what you
government
have.
election. It's just to support the point that the minister made and Mr. Green. Local government election by free elected representatives of the people is an integral part of the democratic organization of the state, Article 12 of the Constitution. That is what Jagdeo and them violated, the Constitution of this country. Article 12. They prevented the ordinary people from exercising that right, which is a very serious matter. And they should have been taken to court, but how would we have taken them to court? Because they control the court. That is the problem. And that's what the gentleman who called earlier should understand. We cannot violate our Constitution. It's the right of the people to exercise their right at the appropriate time. And the President has made it absolutely clear. He said, my administration is resolutely devoted to deepening the democratic process. We are committed to introducing real local democracy and to ensuring that it flourishes. All Guyanese have a stake in our country. Therefore, all citizens should have the say in decisions which affect their lives. The President said that.
Just say that.
The President
I
said
will say this, Ian, and when I speak to the viewers and listeners in Region 4, or maybe in Region 5 and 3 and part of 2, because the majority of the people is 4, I will use the Holy Book, I use the Bible. If I speak in Essequibo or Berbice Region 6, I will use the Ramayana, Mahabharata, and so make reference. But since we're speaking to the majority of the Christian listeners, we reflect on the Exodus with Moses and the challenges he faced when he led the people out of Egypt. This is exactly what is replaying back today. Moses was the anointed leader or the anointed person to lead his people out of Israel, out of bondage under Pharaoh, which happened in 2015 when we gave the people the breath of fresh air and removed them out of the hands of Pharaoh. And then when the people was moving in the wilderness to the land of milk and honey, the land that was promised by God, the people rebelled against Moses. and he faced many challenges. One, the first, that they wanted water. And when God gave them water, they said the water bitter. Moses went to God and he said, people complaining that the water bitter, they want to stone me, your servant. What I did to you, God? What I did to you, God, that you punishing me, and the people want to kill me? God said, all right, take this piece of wood and throw it in the water turned sweet, and they like it, they drink it. Then they wanted food. They said, God gave them a grain, I think it referred to manna, and he said, eat this. The people say, I don't want manna all the time. I want flesh, I want meat.
Barbecue.
He gone
KFC.
and he complained to God. The people say they can't live on manna. They want meat. God blow a wind, and guess what? The quails came. It was hovering overhead about 3 feet or so. So the people could have just put the hand and take a bird out of the air and cook it to get meat, right? But the people were so greedy that they take too much of the bird. They try to preserve it and everything, and they end up dying from food poisoning. And so many other challenges that he faced. He even faced leadership challenge with his own brother and sister, challenging him and say, why, only God speaks to you, you don't speak to me? And God punished those people that challenged his anointed one. He punished them with death. Even when he sent them out, the 12 leaders of the tribe, and he sent them out to go and look at the land of Canaan, the people came back, the 12 came back, 10 speak lies, and betrayed the people against Moses and God. And God punished them for 40 years. Okay? Here again, this is exactly the same thing would happen in Guyana. You have a $5 billion, a 5 billion barrel island out there in the sea. That's the land of Canaan there. And you're fighting amongst yourself. You can't wait 2 years more. You're allowing Jack Deere, like the 10 leaders of the tribe, to brainwash you and tell you things are bad. But you can't wait. The Americans could see it. The outgoing American ambassador could see it. Every single international observer and resident representative for various organizations in Guyana could see it. But you, the ordinary people, can't see it. Tell me why.
History of mankind.
Very good reasoning, Jai Paul. I appreciate
the Bible
that.
good.
Nice.
You
Good
know,
fire.
quote the Bible good, very good.
The Sabbath sermon
Johnny,
delivered by
hello?
Jai Paul.
Hello? Hello? Yes?
Me, you know, you got church program now. People punishing you, and you can't talk about church. Think that much reality. You don't lose the local election, you don't have the general election, and you get them not clean out.
That is the reality. Speak about local government. The opposition want to see the local government.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sharma, to your panel.
Yeah. Hold on.
Mr. Jai Paul.
Yes.
In Echo's new scheme, right, where I'm living, Neil Kumar have 3 house lot, right? I want to know how you get a 3 house lot if there's not part of infernally corruption too. And when you pass from the dump site road, all them houses that build there is infernally investment. I like all that to be investigated in the Pradoville thing too, no? Because he corrupted Chawanga house lot in every scheme that infernally open. I want you to know that, right? So you have to do this investigation deep into
What evidence you have? What evidence you have?
And I know that Neil Kumar pay 500,000 for one them land.
Oh man, do you have evidence?
Come in, talk.
Yes, I have evidence. I come in because you
come in.
Shop the next one now.
Come in.
Bring the evidence.
Bring the evidence. I'm coming, right?
And you know where you come in because you scheme. And you pass, you're going to see 2 shops the next one. Now, where you pass there, the second corner for your left hand side. The first lot, the second lot, and the third lot is Neil Kumar lot.
All right, come in and talk to us about it.
But that is what he's saying is known.
Yeah.
Why to investigate
Neil
it properly?
Kumar was the man who made the
How he got
report.
3 house lot. And if he paid $500,000 for one.
Okay.
Because I paid 500 for me swamp for the sell me.
Yes.
Okay.
And they didn't sell me a land, they sell me a swamp.
Okay. Thank you very much.
We have that information, Mr. Housen.
The police will investigate all of those things. As I said to you, during the investigation, you will have to go and get the evidence. You may know you're living in it, the children live in it, but the paper shows somebody else's name.
That's right.
And so then the police will have to draw the connection to go to court to say, this is the relationship between this person and that person, right? So you have to connect the dots. So most of these things will be investigated.
Okay.
And it will be made public before the court, of course.
What is your view on this land? land, title land.
I'm aware of it
Yeah.
when the chap talked about
You know about it?
Yeah, he was chairman of the
Okay.
was
housing
chairman of Central
committee.
Plan.
And why do you about that?
Well, as Jaipal said, these matters have been referred to the police in some cases.
Yes.
Sarah.
The problem we have, and my fear is, that the process has taken a very long time, and the judiciary has its problems. We have an absurd situation where the functionary that should be advising in the Prouderville scheme, for example,
Okay.
was a beneficiary.
Exactly.
And the person is still in place. So you have
Yeah.
a lot of contradictions, as I said before, because the government has been very kind and almost too decent.
Okay.
And it's a challenge we face.
It's a challenge.
You have, look, this boy wrote a letter the other day from London. You have the Westford case.
Okay.
My good friend, I know her. But the thing is abominable. You have matters going before the court, and I wonder whether what my friend said is not the better route to take. Because the courts are going to be taking time, we're expending energy and money, and this society is certainly not pure.
Well, why come from Neil Cormer with his house that we have? Neil Cormer. His house flats. I'm gonna film it. I'm gonna film it this week. I want to show the house flat.
No, well, let us
there's an
know
old
the
story.
Let
Yeah.
us look. If it's criminal, the special organized crime unit is going to look at it.
Yeah.
If it's because of greed and they didn't follow the process, we could go civil with the SARA, the State Asset Recovery Unit, going to go after it and they will reclaim it. But he will not go to jail.
Okay.
Okay, just reclaim it. And we go back to the nation coffers, the people coffers, the treasury. So if it's criminal in its intention, will have to be investigated and see how it plays out. But let me just tell you this. Again, this is something that was never made known in the budget. But as one of the Minister of Finance, you would relate with GRA and get figures and so. Now, the private sector knows this information, and we at Finance know this information. The PVPC know this information, but guess what? You, the people, don't know the information. And what we know is that, as they said, the economy is not performing, the opposition say the economy is not performing, we see in business. How can you explain that we didn't increase no tax, but the tax in the budget increasing? How we think we financing the budget of 3.7 billion? Majority of it is from taxation, right? 238 billion of it is from taxation. The difference is from borrowing and debt and grants and so on. So this is what you need to know. So let me just give you some figures that I recorded here. I make some notes on my phone, so you could actually see what is some of these figures that I'm speaking about. So, for instance, I could say to you that in 2017, there was 1.8 billion in 2017 and 2,471 billion for 2018 as it relates to VAT refund. So I asked a question to GRE. I said, what we give back as VAT refund? This is business people. So in 2017, the previous government never gave back VAT refund. We gave back to the business people 1.8 billion in 2017, and we give back 2.47 billion so far with the year completed in VAT to the business people. So the businessman get back that. Now, I said, let us look at the vehicles. How many vehicles came in this country in 2017? And they said to me, 10,697 vehicles came in this country in 2017. And 2018 to date, the year is not completed, 12,409 vehicles came in this country, imports, right? Good. I wanted to know how many containers came in this country. Containers, 20-foot, 40-foot containers. And they said to me, containers in 2016, we have like about 20,298. Here it is. 20,298 containers was imported into the country.
What?
Imported, it's important. Here what was exported now. 5,452 we import. You see where the money is going? The foreign currency to import things. We're not using what we have. We want to bring stuff in. Even pine wood for compete with the local sector. So just imagine that. Containers in 2016 that came in, 20,298. Containers that went out, 5,452. That's export. In 2017, 20,517 imported, came in. 5,766 exported, came out. So far in 2018 to date, 20,427 imported, 5,207 exported.
Same pattern.
So you're seeing the pattern there now. Now, cement, they said apparently we're doing bad, apparently to them. So 2017, I asked in dollar value, how many billion dollars of cement was imported in 2017? They said to me, the figures show $27.4 billion in cement was imported in Guyana. And in 2018, $4.8 billion in cement was imported in Guyana. So tell me if this is not progress, right? So we could discuss these figures. So while Jack Dew is saying to the ordinary man and woman that is struggling in the streets of Georgetown, that you could physically see those people that are struggling to make ends meet, the vendors, yes, they are struggling because they're competing in a society that is not conducive for them, because they're competing with the gift land and they're competing with the malls and this and that. Of course,
the Chinese
the Chinese wholesalers, the people will gravitate to those places. Matter of fact, look, we're doing so bad. We don't have money in our pocket according to Jack Dew and the PVP. But yes, yet we bringing in, importing 20,000 containers, 2016, 2017, 2018. 20,000 odd containers. Where the containers are going? In Regent Street, right? Who's purchasing it? We can't purchase it. The people and citizens of what? Cuba and those other countries. So you're not seeing the money flowing into the economy because what? The business people are hoarding the money. They're not putting it into the banks. They're keeping it at home, in the pocket, in the vault, wherever. You're not seeing it. So while you're spending money to import, you're not putting it back into the circulation.
The banks are
and
not
so
lending money
that is
for
what
ordinary people.
that is what you're seeing, the effects. But the figures don't show that. I'm going to tell you what the PVP figure was in 2014. Let's go to the next caller.
Vampire economics, boy.
Hello?
Getting sucked.
Hello?
Yes, you are there, please.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yes.
Mr. Sharma, why did you start the Justice for All party? Was it for these big rich people that Jaipal talking about, or the ones them on Regent Street who can't make $1? I thought it was the poor man you started it for. I think Jaipal should go and take a $50,000 and go and walk on Regent Street and see what food stuff and what items we got to get.
Caller,
we could get.
It's called like this as the people I refer to the era
No,
of...
don't categorize me, Jaipal. Don't categorize
No,
me.
they call it like this.
You were placed there to be there for all the people. But you're
Wait,
talking about
I
the
don't want to
containers
listen
who coming in. So what happened to
You
me
see,
now? We're working for 6
you don't want to listen to people like this.
Okay.
Because they will poison the mind. They'll poison my mind. It'll poison your mind.
What was the point he's
So,
making?
the point he's making is that, okay, why don't address the issues of the vendor? I said, we did not create the vendors. The vendors choose their business. The problem with Guyana is diversification. You want to continue to do what you're doing and don't change, but the world is changing. And then you're asking the government to make your business a success. You have to go into a line of business that is competitive, that you could make and turn a profit. Could you compete with those Chinese businesses? Could you? So this is what he's saying. But he don't want to hear the figures that I present in. He want to come and attack me frontally because he's, of course, a supporter of the PVP.
Okay.
So this is the point we're making. The problem is the economy of Guyana is not diversified, and the Great State Development Strategy will attempt and will be successful in diversifying the economy into areas that are profitable for those same vendors.
But the fundamental problem is that over time, particularly on the PP, we become over-reliant on importing.
Yeah, so let me just give you the figure here for 2014. This is PPP, right? So containers in 2014, imports, where the PPP was doing so well, as you could remember, right? You could remember. The imports in container was 14,243, and they exported even less, 4,838, right? So the export wasn't doing well. And
what were they exporting?
Traditional exports weren't doing
business
well.
people exporting.
The cocaine exports were doing well.
Cement, I just compare some elements. Cement was $15 billion. And I just told you, it's $40 billion to cement, right? And so this is some comparison. I could compare these figures, I could get the details and give you, but still you would not believe, because it's very difficult to, convert the personal or make them believe when they already in the mind say everything you're saying is lies.
The point is about the scholar, Jai Paul, is that he wants these things to be changed overnight. After an inheritance of more than 20 years, how could and the economy was based on drugs and not solid economy.
Okay, I got to say this before we go to the next call. I understand the point you're getting, Mr. Rahman. Okay. But people need to know the hard facts. And the hard facts is that this doctor, the doctor of doom, Dr. Jagdeo, so many names he have, and of course he's part of the sweet lies.
Champion of dirt.
This individual would have stood up in Parliament, and his members of Parliament will all stood up, and they would repeat the mantra that things are doing bad in this country. We should pay public servants a greater salary increase. But is Guyana Times, if anyone have Guyana Times with them here?
No, we don't have Guyana Times.
You would, it's, when things is printed in black and white, it can't be erased. It's there to stay, right? So here what he said. He said, look, you brought the largest budget ever. But what does budget have the expenditure in? This budget have the expenditure in recurrent expenditure, which is current expenditure, which is everyday expenses, right? Now, yes, budget 2013, I believe in that category of recurrent expenditure, it might be $213 billion. $213 billion in other charges. And guess what? Added to that recurrent expenditure, wages and salary, which is $70 billion. Hear what he said about this recurrent expenditure, which is 70 billion employment costs, 70 billion employment costs for 30,000 public servants, which he wants me to give them an increase. Hear what he said. This is non-productive expenditure. So if we increase it now, what he would blame us for? We can't please Jagdeo and the PPP to produce a budget what they want to see, and then they come back and attack us because they want to make us a failure.
Did they put forward an alternative budget?
No. But what I'm saying, here this is the serpent tongue, the forked tongue. Why is he telling you and telling us, give the only 7.5? When he was giving you 5, are we giving you all the years we giving you in excess of 5? He's coming back and say, recurrent expenditures is non-performing expenditure. So if I and the government would say, that's 70 billion employment cost figure, we're going to make it 100 billion. What are you going to say about us? You're going to say we're mad people, right? So we cannot be driven by what the opposition is saying that we should angle the budget in. So our budget, 24% of it is targeted to employment costs. 30,000 public servants having 70 billion in the pocket. What would a public servant do with $70 billion in the pocket? You think to spend it in the economy? The problem with the society in Guyana also is that we change it, we modernize it. I think the majority of us don't go to auto dealer and purchase a vehicle. They go online, the computer, the internet, and purchase their own vehicle.
Yeah. Okay.
When they want a shirt or a pants or a tie or even jewelry, they purchase it on the internet.
Okay.
And so this is the shift. The majority of our youth population, with this budget gift to the youths, if you study, If you study cumulatively 3 years and you return to Guyana, you're coming back with the duty-free concession of vehicle, you no tax. No tax. It means that you don't have to work as a public servant to forget a duty-free concession. You just have to study. And you come back driving a non-taxable vehicle. Just like public. It means that those people, we would not discriminate against them if they go and work in a bank, if they go and work in a private institution, hospital, or any private company. Once they study and they came back to this country, you have a car tax-free, duty-free.
What why we got to pay so much duty on cars?
At this moment.
But all time millions of dollars in duty cars. Why cars are cheap? Cheap in America, Trinidad, Suriname, car cheap. Why pay some money?
Yeah, because reduce all the taxes you want. Then you're going to be the one to say we can't have a $3 billion budget. We can't pay better wages and salary. Taxations are collected at various levels. You can't pressure people income alone. So you pressure those that want to live a luxurious life will have to pay the cost.
But then poor people got to buy a car.
What poor people? I just told you, given that young man that coming in the country after spending 3 years to study, a car without duty. Okay, so you see here again, business people will want to have everything free. The rich continues to say, "Oh, I want a Prado, but I don't want to pay the duty." But yet they pay the duty and drive in the Prado.
Why so much tax on the car? Why so much tax?
They tax the money that is collected from that car. Those people that have the income, those are the people that are earning $1 million and above.
Yes.
Okay, so you tax them; they could afford it. You don't tax the man that purchased a bicycle. There's no duty in a bicycle. And so we encouraging that even the rich, don't go and buy a Prado, go and buy electric vehicle. Go and buy a hybrid vehicle and it will come zero. And it shall come 0%. 0%, no tax.
No tax.
So this is the avenue in which we go in.
Could you talk a bit about the infrastructural work?
Infrastructural work, as I mentioned, $70 billion the budget going to employment costs. Recurrent other services is occupying about $200 billion. $70 billion going to capital works. $70 billion going to capital works. That's infrastructure. This budget, you see that car that is called about Perfect Harmony Road? That man get in road.
Yes.
The people in Diamond get in road. This is only Region 4. Okay? We have to satisfy 9 other regions.
But people are Perfect Harmony getting road now.
So they will be getting the road done.
Yes.
Not every single road in the community will be done, but we will identify the baddest road, or the 3 or 4 baddest road in the community, and we will do it.
Okay. Caller, hello?
Yes, Mr. Shamo.
Yes.
But Enrico, he interviewed the minister them.
Yes.
And when he interviewed Mr. Jordan.
Yes.
And he was comparing Jamaica said to the people want house to build and they as the service over there building the houses.
Yeah.
Because why the housing sector couldn't develop in Ghana that we got the laborers them over here. This is the kind of the job the people them need to do.
Yes.
Over labor.
Yes.
Pick up grass cutter. You say you can pick up a grass cutter and you go in front of weed somebody yard. You $2,500 you got people put it in the bag and that kind of thing.
Yes.
This is the kind of work you tell the people them out there.
Okay.
The man was explaining something just now, but take $50,000 and go for Regent Street and see where it is. If they can put down $1,000 for the pensioner.
Okay.
Because the people waiting for when the pensioner come out, stick them up, carry the pensioner money.
Okay.
They give $1,000, $500 for take taxi,
You
pick up your pension, $500 to keep for bring you home.
Okay. Thank you very much.
No, you see, even for the pensioners, we even look into to look at where the pensioners, where there's connectivity, and we spend a lot of money on ICT, where we connecting majority of the communities in Guyana, where the pensioner can go with a card and also use the card to
Call in,
to
hello?
draw the money.
Hello, a pleasant and a blessed good afternoon to Minister Jaipal. Oh my God, you have made my day.
Okay.
The sun is bright and you have made it even brighter. I am thankful for you coming. I had called in on the program a number of times. We miss your input because you will have a day-to-day input in explaining to the ordinary man, and I'm thankful for today. God bless you. Mr. Rahman, I have been listening to you months and months. It makes me feel now like if you want to make your own party, are you running against the AFC?
No, I have said over and over, and I repeat it here again, that the AFC is not a good partner in this coalition.
No, but what
They're
I'm
not a good
saying,
partner because
are
I
you
can
planning
give
to
time.
make a party
No.
other than to run against the AFC?
I don't believe in political parties as such, you know. Really, I don't
Oh,
believe.
well, you got
In a
to
modern
get
age,
your own airtime.
that is why I am part of a coalition. I believe in coalition, just like the president. I believe in coalition government.
Okay.
I
I
have said it.
available.
Yes,
So
I
you
believe.
got to relay all of your negatives and positive on your airtime. It's not every week you're beating down the government and beating down. It's not fair.
I am here.
Pass over some things.
I have defended.
Have something good to say.
Madam,
Thank you and God bless.
if you listen to me
Little
carefully,
meetings also.
if you listen to me carefully, I have defended this government more than anybody else as a public figure. But I am here to speak to the voice of the people. What I hear outside there, what I see outside there, I believe that we can do far better. I still believe, as Walter Lawrence has said, that the minister must go outside there and they must come here.
Yes.
What Guy Paul Sharma is doing, so that they can be called and can answer questions. I was in Trinidad recently, and I heard the ministers come on a particular radio program and they're being questioned by university professors about all kinds of things. And they're holding them. Our president has said over and over again, we must hold our elected representative feet to the fire. That's all we're doing. This program here is for that. Mr. Green is an he sometimes apologizes for this government. I too sometimes. But we are very critical. We want a good government. And we are saying that people like Keith Scott and Noel Holder should not be ministers of this government.
Why you say that?
They have failed us.
Look, we still in the budget process, so we don't want to go in.
I know you can't defend that because you're a minister, because your position is being threatened. I defended you in an article I wrote this morning to say that you're a good minister and that Jagdeo shouldn't place you in that situation. But and I know you can't say what I say because I'm a free agent. I have the right to criticize.
So the caller that call and say, why you don't go and take 50,000 and go and support the vendors? You see, a lot of people say Burnham was bad, LFS Burnham was bad, and this and that. But this is what they're forcing this government to do. So just like Jagdeo and the PPP, Dr. Jagdeo, the Honorable Dr. Jagdeo, PPP.
He's not doctor, man.
So forcing us to do what they want to do.
You shouldn't use that. That's an honorary
I
thing.
could have said to the Minister of Finance and the Cabinet, craft a budget with such measures and say, look, all those Chinese business will be closed down. No permission for Chinese to sell in the country. Right? Good. This will give the vendors an opportunity. No. I could say the KFC and the Royal Castle and the Popeyes and the churches to be closed.
AFC or KFC?
And what that will do, it will give the vendor that is selling food at the corner an opportunity to purchase their food. I could say that the malls, the shopping malls, the grocery supermarkets that's opening across Guyana, none of it will happen. And so we have to revert to border market and defend it. I could say in the budget.
But why don't you say that?
I could say that we're going to exercise price control.
Why don't
but
you do
we
that?
live in a global economy, globalization, and competitiveness. And people want quality and standard. And so I cannot say in this era that you must do such thing.
Why not? Why not?
Caller, hello.
Online
Good afternoon,
purchases.
Mr.
Good
Shaw.
afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon.
I just called to shed the light about this. This
Yeah.
truck them stopping in the morning from 7 to 9
Okay.
on the public road.
Okay.
But the police law and the horse scared them to go and lift the truck them with engine at the side. So I just wanted to shed a light, tell some minister something that the horse scared more slow than the truck. I knew they may know that.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
We talked about that, right? Call your name.
So
Hello.
we have to determine what we want the government
Yeah,
to say. You want
yeah.
the government to say that?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, congratulations to Minister Jaipal.
Yes.
One of the working ministers. I would like to see Minister Jaipal debate Mr. Jagdeo. Seriously. That Jaipal got the facts and everything. The next thing is, people like Jaipal need to be on the radio. You can't fault the opposition leader. He got a fantastic PR program. The slightest thing that happened, Jagdeo in your face. Jagdeo and the thing. We need to deal with our PR. Ras Leon talked about it.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much.
And who's in charge of that?
CNC. Yes. Yeah. Let me hear it.
I would love to know when the government will keep the promise of taking this bill to Parliament about decriminalizing marijuana and the small amounts, not jail bill. Why? My brethren, Ras Edward Bacchus from Susdike, just get fined $70,000 for having 35 grams of marijuana. We need to know how much is the small amounts that we need to have so we don't have to go in jail or face the court for it. Seriously, if we address that issue, 2020 is a breeze. The coalition will win the election hands down. Just that one promise that they made to decriminalize marijuana and don't put people in jail for small amounts. How much is the small amount? We need to have that bill passed very soon.
How many people do you support the marijuana?
Yeah? How many people?
How many people?
All them youths, all them young people.
Who do you
Because they understand young people between 18 and 35. The people who have the most votes to give
How much
us
thousand we have
this
get?
the boycott.
How many
this
thousand will you get?
I personally could bring 10,000 votes to the table because we got about 10,000 users who are Rastafari and otherwise who are sympathetic and empathetic to this cause and issue.
You certainly have the support of Mr. Green.
Yeah, definitely. He's an old youth, you know.
Mr. Green,
marijuana destroy brain. Let me.
No, this.
No, he didn't say that. Mr. Green didn't say that.
Yeah.
Mr. Green
have
chemotherapy.
Yes.
Mr. Green made it absolutely clear.
I have gone public on this matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've sent a letter, and I need to settle the issues again.
Right.
One, that marijuana today is no longer what it was 30, 40 years ago.
Okay.
There's been medical research, and there are 30 top-line countries that have decriminalized marijuana. I pointed Chile, Canada, and Australia.
Uruguay also. And Canada.
Right, there are 30 of them that are going towards a billion-dollar industry. And we have, from what I was told by some friends in Jamaica, we have soils which produce a superior quality of marijuana.
Here.
Sensimania, the best herb.
At the seminar they had us in Stansdale College, the issue was raised that marijuana can change the personality and behavior pattern of people.
Okay.
I said in my letter, if that is the case, you've got to ban all alcohol.
Alcohol, yes, of course.
So
Yes.
the issue is Guyana should stay in line with what's
Okay.
happening in the rest of the world.
Okay, Mr. Green, you smoke a marijuana? You don't smoke?
No, he didn't smoke marijuana, but
Okay.
he supported
You use marijuana?
I don't smoke. I don't
What do you
drink.
use? You use marijuana? You don't
No.
use it?
I'm
Why?
deal-
Why?
Because I don't need it.
Okay.
Mr. Sharma.
I'm dealing with the principle
Yeah.
and from information I've gathered
Okay.
from reading.
Mr. Sharma, on
Yeah.
the same question, we have raised on this program here many times, and Minister supported it, the question about regularizing hemp, which is a cousin of marijuana. And I ask you, Mr. Minister, to repeat your support for it, because now that Mr. Green, who was an opponent of marijuana, has now made it absolutely
Clear, yes,
clear. That's
clear,
one of the
that's
things
right.
about Mr. Green.
That's right.
When he believes in
Yeah.
something, he goes after it. He makes
Okay.
it public. So we can say that about him.
Okay.
Minister, you can't mess about it. In the last debate you had, you were with here. I heard you on the. I was at home. I couldn't come that day. And Mr. Green's position was like yours, where he was against the legalization or regularization of marijuana. He has changed his position. What is your position?
In relation to what?
In relation to marijuana and in relation to hemp.
No,
Because the last time I heard
spoke
you,
on it
you were
already. And
filibustering about
the
it.
last program, I said, look, we're looking at it as at the regional level, okay? And we're going to standardize across the board what the region CARICOM will put forward.
but
So
when?
each community, each member state of CARICOM is putting forward a proposal and looking at it, and we will follow suit. So, look, I don't know how fast they will work as a collective government, but we're looking at it. And I told you already, and because hemp is an agricultural product, and it could produce so many things, we should look at it.
Yes. Go ahead, please.
Yes.
You're the young man, Jaipa. You need to come off this ship, buddy. This APNU, this thing is like Titanic, it's going down. You need to come off the ship and join a new party or something, or ask Jackie up a deal or something, buddy. Don't be afraid. You need to save this country. Stop Mr. Sharma, the Elder Sharma, he get too big. You don't need all the stress. You is the man now to take over for this voice of the people.
Yeah.
So please, man, come on the ship. The ship done hit the iceberg, so there's no turning back now. It's going down. It's just a matter of time.
I don't know.
You don't, my friend.
It's people like that we don't want to listen to.
My friend, you don't do a deal with the devil.
Yes.
You don't do.
All right. Yes.
My reply to him, I don't. Jaipal may want to reply. You don't deal with the devil.
Yes.
That has been mankind's problem. You
Jaipal
don't deal
doesn't
with the
need to
devil.
vote for the PPP.
As I said,
for
look,
no
this
content
caller
vote.
sung like Jaggi himself. Because when they announced it, when our chief whip, Amna Ali, the Minister of Social Protection,
We should call you in.
she said in her, concluding her speech, she say to the opposition, look, she have confidence in her members and we will vote solidly against confidence, and they must bring it on because this budget is a great budget. They must bring it on. They're gonna lose, right? So Irfan sitting opposite her is shouting like this, "Jai, Jai, Jai!" I was laughing. I was laughing. So this is the theatrics of these people. Right? I don't want a fat man like that be calling my name. I don't know what excitement he's getting. So
maybe get some orgasm.
So he's like this theatric shouting out my name.
Serious.
So that is how serious people get in. So when we break for lunch now, the leader of the opposition saw me and he said, "You're here today? I thought you wouldn't make it." So he's like saying, like somebody going to do something to me, like maybe take me out or something like that. So every day you see me continue to taunt me. Jagdeo, a former president, is taunting a minister of this government. Your life today, things like that.
He asked you that?
Yeah, so
That's a threat.
He's working on you
So,
psychologically.
I don't fall for things like that.
Tell you got vocative.
However, I don't have to, as the Honorable former Prime Minister of Guyana indicated, I would not make a deal with the devil. I didn't get this position here by him. I get this position here by you, the people. And you, the people that will determine where you want to put me.
Yes.
Is probably could say, is the Almighty put me in this position.
Okay.
Through you, the people who voted. So you will determine where I go.
Call you in here. Hello. Hello, calling in here. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Now, we're looking around on the panel, right?
Yes, yes.
I see in Ballet and I see in Whitehead, right?
Yeah.
Well, you need some young people with black hair for here, what they have to
But
see. Young people vision, young people are there.
Yes.
It's a young people thing. Anyhow,
We got black we here then. We got black we here then. We got black my here.
No, you gotta get young people, buddy.
No, we got black. We got black here.
This government,
You see, you want to say black hair people.
this government manifesto had young people for jobs and these things included. So we need young people to play a part.
Well, apparently this scholar is not seeing what's happening in local government, where the young people are leading.
Well, anyway, I think Mr. Barajak, his name was really stay sweet because it's always in the current government and Mr. Jaipal Sharma mouth. His name was really tasty.
Maybe, caller, when the individual that you're speaking about is attacking me, what do you want me to do? If he's the one that's speaking the lies, I have to defend myself.
He's important.
He is the leader of the opposition. He's not like an ex-president sitting quiet outside. He's now a player in the game, and at the highest level.
Could you explain this to me? He said that he didn't want the opposition's salary.
Which is he taking? Ex-president or the opposition?
No, he have to explain to his constituency why he's taking
Is he getting both?
a non-taxable pension of 1.6 billion and not the salary of a senior minister, which is 800,000. He have to explain that, why he decided to take 2 times the amount plus non-taxable. That minister, senior minister, is earned $800,000. And that is tax.
Okay.
The leader of the opposition determines that he will take his pension and still sitting in parliament, which is 1.6 million non-taxable.
Okay.
Explain if you so love the poor
Okay.
people. You would probably
Okay.
take that, you could probably take the pension, but give that $800,000 to the vendors in the street.
Okay. May I say
No,
very
but-
much
but-
like this question?
but-
Over to John Charlie, you get
Jaipal, I want to address the
Yeah.
thing raised by Jaipal.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
I assumed that when Parliament approved pensions for former presidents and prime ministers, that they will remove themselves from frontline politics.
Okay.
And the idea was, the philosophy was, the statement was, they received this pension to maintain the dignity of their former position. Now, if that is the case, any recipient should remove himself from frontline politics. They can comment, they can advise, they can be consultants, but they ought not to be in Parliament. Ramatara has done the correct thing, Sam Hines, and I don't understand Jagdio's position. I thought that was an assumption, and that he would not receive the former president's pension. He would just receive the pension of the opposition leader. That was my assumption.
Because the man is
By him
dishonest.
differently now.
The man is totally dishonest, Mr.
That
Green.
is- that's
you know
my-
why you
I
didn't
don't-
understand? Because his aim was that he was going to stand again as president.
But
That
that-
was his
that-
position.
That's what means is right.
That's why he came in the front line. This man is like Trump. He said that when his term came to an end, he said he would not participate in public life. Did you remember that?
Yes.
That is my
Did you remember
understanding.
that?
No, but the argument of the Honorable Hamilton Green is correct. And maybe I will look at it as a personal project to flesh it out and even to maybe see what we could do in terms of removing it. So I will take that as a special project because I did look at the Constitution, and yes, there is an anomaly in the Constitution
Exactly.
in interpretation of the Constitution, but
He
I
cannot
will not bring it to you, the people, until